Hey y'all, question 4. Which number line represents the solution to the inequality below? So they give you the inequality 23 plus 0.4s is less than or equal to 135. So I'm actually going to rewrite this just because, I don't know, it makes it a little bit easier for me when I'm dealing with my own handwriting. But you could also just use what they gave you there. Is less than or equal to 135. All right. This looks weird. I know. You've got it flipped from sometimes how we normally see it. The 23 that's just adding is standing alone in front. You've got a decimal in there. It's an inequality. So I know a lot of you looked at this and you just freaked out, okay? Let's still just take it one step at a time. So my first step always says I'm going to draw the line to separate my two sides, and then I'm going to circle my variable term. My variable here is the s, and the number that is attached to that, the coefficient, is that 0.4, and it's a positive. So I'm going to circle that whole variable term. Step 2 says to isolate your variable term. So that means what we just circled, we want to get that alone on that left side by getting rid of anything else that's on that side. And the other thing that's on this side is that 23. The way we're going to get rid of that is through addition or subtraction. So I'm looking at that 23, I see it's a positive 23. The way I'm going to get rid of that is by getting it to 0. So how can I get positive 23 to 0? Negative 23 or minus 23. So I'm going to put minus 23 on that left side. Whatever I do to the left side, I have to do to the right. So I'm also going to write minus 23 right here. 23 minus 23 zeroes out, and we met our goal there. We now are left with just the variable term. 0.4s is less than or equal to negative, or not negative, oh my goodness, guys, I'm sorry. 112. Positive 112. All right, I don't like this green, so I'm going to switch up the color. So now I have 0.4s is less than or equal to 112. So now I'm going to isolate my variable, which is the s still, using multiplication or division. Right now that 0.4 is multiplying times the s, which means I need to do the opposite. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I'm going to divide by 0.4 on both sides. 0.4 divided by 0.4 is 1, and 1 times s is just s. I did not divide by a negative number, so I keep my inequality symbol the same. So it's still just going to be less than or equal to. And then I need to divide 0.4 into 112. Okay, remember when we have a decimal on the outside, we have to move that. Whatever we do on the outside, we also have to do on the inside. So I'm also going to move my decimal over here, and I'm going to add a 0. So now I have 4 going into 1,120. 4 goes into, can't go into 1. It can go into 11. It would go into there 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. And then we're going to subtract. 11 minus 8 is 3. Bring down your 2. 4 goes into 32. Well, I know 4 times 10 is 40. And 32 is 8 away from 40. So 4 times 9 would be 36, which would mean 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 8 is 32. I subtract. I'm left with 0. But remember, you still have that 0 down there. We got to bring that back down. And 4 goes into 0 times. So then I'm going to bring that back over here. S is less than or equal to 280. All right, look at your answer choices. What can we eliminate? Well, we can eliminate the A and B. A and B can be gone because they say 54. Our answer was 280. The difference between C and D, C has the arrow pointing to the right, D has the arrow pointing to the left. Our answer said S is less than 280. So D is the one that's pointing to the lesser side of the number line, the lower numbers on the number line, which means C is out and D is my answer.